Hi, my name is Bryan Djunaedi, and I'm a product manager at code.org. Though I wish I could be there in person with you today, I'm still excited to share how we use Jira Software at code.org to further our mission in the world. Code.org is a nonprofit dedicated to expanding access to computer science in schools and increasing participation by young women and other underrepresented groups. Our vision is that every student in every school should have the opportunity to learn computer science. We provide the most broadly used curriculum for teaching computer science in primary and secondary school. And we also organize the annual Hour of Code campaign, which has engaged around 10% of all students in the world. Over 40% of our website traffic comes from outside of the United States, and that number continues to climb. In order to meet demand from outside the US, our team works closely with more than 100 international partners, and we help them to promote the Hour of Code, advocate for policy change, and train teachers. What does this mean for product and engineering? Well, my team needs to build robust solutions to support learners in all of our languages. Over the past 4 years, we have achieved some of our most critical initiatives using Jira Software. In addition to shipping our first ever versions of our elementary and middle school curricula that were fully available in non-English languages, one example I'm going to show you today of our use of Jira Software was a project to enable fully localized videos in our courses. Course videos are an important part of our product. Course videos allow us to showcase inspirational figures in computer science, give students a preview of the tools they'll be using, and highlight diverse presenters to help all students see themselves as belonging in the CS classroom. However, as you can see in this example, videos also present really unique challenges to localization. There's the obvious thing, spoken word, but there's also text on the screen. There's famous figures that were irrelevant in other regions, to name a few examples. And we had support for translation for text on our website, but how are we going to serve up truly localized videos that were relevant to the students in that country and were really usable by them and not just watchable with captions or subtitles? So to solve this problem, we proposed a feature that would allow us to show videos to students depending on their selected locale on the learning platform. These videos would be reshot and reproduced by our international partners collaborating with us in this space. There are over 60 videos in our elementary school curriculum alone, so this solution would have to be scalable. Now I'll give a little demo of how we use Jira on our product and engineering teams. So on our product and engineering teams, we use 2-week sprints, meaning we commit to a certain amount of work in 2-week chunks and use that to deliver to our stakeholders. And as a product manager, it's easy for me to represent work items in Jira using tickets. So here for the project, to deliver a fully localized video experience, I've created tickets to represent each chunk of engineering work that needs to happen to make this feature possible. This view also lets me create new issues really easily. I can just click on this create issue button over here. And as the sprint goes on, if an engineer finds a bug that was maybe reported through a customer support channel that we need to address, I can really easily add a bug with a different visual indicator and add that here. And that way we can keep track of different work streams in addition to the project that I'm tracking. I really like the ability to create epics, and epics are basically collections of work items that are related. So for this project, for a localized video player, I've created this epic called Enable Localized Video Player. And then actually I can take all of these tickets that are related to it and drag them over. And now they'll all appear with that epic tag next to the ticket in this view over here, and show up in the ticket description as well. And as a PM, I can edit the tickets to have the right acceptance criteria, any background information, and then update it with any details that we need on the team. So for example, my team uses story points to estimate uncertainty and approximate time it takes for tickets, and we use that to estimate the amount of work that we can commit to during a sprint. So if I was to start a sprint, I would meet with my team, and in the past, we've kind of figured out that for a team of 5, we can realistically take on about 25 story points. And Jira makes it really easy to visually see that. So I can take this sprint that I've created and drag this line down to include however many points I want. So let's drag the line down and see. So far, we have 22 points in this sprint, so we can afford maybe 3 more points. So I'll go ahead and add another ticket to it over there. And now that we have our 25 story points this sprint, we can then start assigning tickets to folks. So engineers will kind of volunteer for the tickets that they feel most prepared to do. Since in this demo, I'm just the only one in this team, I'll go ahead and assign it to me. But if I go ahead and do that for a couple of tickets here, when I start the sprint, you'll see how it shows up. And that's eventually the view that we spend the most time in. So once we're done sprint planning, I can start the sprint here, and it'll let me enter kind of a range of dates as well as the sprint goal. So ship the localized video experience, let's say. Start the sprint, and then that should take me to the sprint view here. So you can see here, there's a swim lane for each member of the team. So currently it's just me, but you can see there are the tickets assigned to me as well as statuses. So I can, if I'm an engineer, I can update tickets by dragging them into the various statuses. And this really allows us to keep track of any blockers that come up during the sprint, surface any tickets that may be awaiting review or tests from other team members, and then ultimately resolve tickets that have been shipped. A couple of the nice things here is that we have a Slack integration. So Slack is the main tool we use for communication at code.org. And we set it up so that whenever someone creates a new ticket or leaves a comment on a ticket, we can see that update in Slack and be kind of kept aware of developments in the sprint. We also have an integration with GitHub, which lets us link tickets with GitHub pull requests. So ultimately, it's a kind of an end-to-end product that engineers can use to make sure that their code changes are linked up to a ticket with requirements and acceptance criteria. And then last but not least, there's some other features that I use as a product manager, such as the search box. I can look for specific tickets via keywords. I can also say I want to set up a filter. I can set up a search basically to look for certain types of issues. So say I want to, let's see, yep, there we go. Say I can take a look at just this localization platform project and say I want like statuses for I want all the tickets that are in progress, for example, and that'll help me get a picture of what's in progress. Well, right now nothing's in progress. All right, but anyway, I do use this regularly to keep track of work we've accomplished and communicate to stakeholders how we've progressed with our commitments during a sprint. After successfully launching this feature, we now have fully localized videos in our elementary school courses, and I'll show you an example of that. I'll show you this video that I showed previously in English, but now I'm going to switch to French. And if I'm a student in France or who speaks French, I can see there's a totally new video that has been reproduced by one of our international partners. And in fact, we have course videos that have been fully localized in Spanish, German, French, Italian, Portuguese, and Arabic. And thanks to our success in making translation and localization possible on the Code.org platform, Code.org is used in over 67 languages and in 180 countries. 12 countries have more than 1 million Code.org accounts. 55% of our usage of our elementary school courses come from outside the US, and 60% of our website traffic during the hour of code comes from outside the US as well. At the end of the day, we ultimately care about the success of our teachers and students around the world. And there's a huge amount of collaboration that goes into making this dream a reality. Not only do we have more than 7,000 translators, many of them were volunteers, who help bring computer science education to students around the world, but our international partners are absolutely key to our success. As a product manager, I've relied on Jira to help my team ship valuable, customer-focused experiences on time and meet our stakeholders' most important needs. It's been a critical tool for us to collaborate and communicate effectively on our most important work. You can try out our Jira workspace yourself using the collaborative innovation code.org template. Thanks for listening.